Welcome to Elevate and Thrive, where your mindset evolves. Stop blaming, stop explaining, stop pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your boss, your ex, your circumstances. In America, we respect one thing above all. The moment you say, "This is my responsibility," you take your power back. Ownership is freedom, because if it's your fault, it's also within your control. In 2026, make this your rule. No excuses, no victim mindset, no blaming. You either win or you learn. 2026 will not magically transform your life. A new calendar does not carry power. A new year does not bring discipline, courage, or clarity wrapped like a gift at your door. The numbers change, the world keeps moving, the clock keeps ticking, but you remain the same person unless you decide to become someone else. Too many people wait for January like it is a reset button. They think motivation will arrive at midnight. They believe circumstances will improve, opportunities will appear, and somehow life will feel different. But the truth is simple and uncomfortable. Nothing changes until you change. If your habits stay the same, your results will stay the same. If your mindset stays limited, your growth will stay limited. The year is neutral. It has no power over your direction. You are the variable, you are the force, you are the decision that determines whether 2026 becomes a breakthrough or just another repetition of the past. Change begins the moment you stop blaming time, people, luck, or conditions. It begins when you look at your reflection and say, "It's on me," not your boss, not your family, not the economy, not your past. Ownership is power. When you accept that your daily actions shape your future, you stop waiting and start building. You understand that success is not an event, it is a pattern. It is what you do when you are tired. It is how you respond when things go wrong. It is whether you show up when no one is watching. The year will not wake you up early. The year will not turn off distractions. The year will not force you to train your body, sharpen your skills, or control your emotions. Only you can do that. If you want 2026 to be different, your habits must be different. Wake up earlier even when it feels uncomfortable. Work on your goals even when motivation is low. Say no to distractions that steal your time. Replace excuses with execution. Discipline is not dramatic. It is quiet, repetitive, and often boring. But it builds empires. Small daily improvements compound into massive results. Read 10 pages a day and you will finish dozens of books. Train consistently and your body will transform. Practice your craft daily and your confidence will grow. These changes are not glamorous in the moment, but they are powerful over time. You must also change the way you think. If you see obstacles as proof that you should quit, you will stay stuck. If you see them as training, you will rise. Growth demands discomfort. Progress demands sacrifice. You cannot demand a new life while protecting old behaviors. You cannot ask for higher levels while clinging to lower standards. Every breakthrough requires a version of you that is stronger, more focused, and more disciplined than the one you are today. That version is not created by hope. It is created by decision and repetition. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time is created by action. Stop telling yourself you will start next month, next week, or next year. Delay is the thief of momentum. Every day you postpone growth is a day you reinforce the identity that stays average. Make a clear decision about who you are becoming. Write it down, visualize it. Act like it. If you want to be fit, train like someone fit. If you want to be successful, think like someone successful. Identity drives behavior. When you change how you see yourself, you change how you move. 2026 will reward preparation, not wishes. It will reward courage, not comfort. It will reward those who are willing to be misunderstood while they are building something meaningful. There will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be moments when quitting feels easier. In those moments, remember this: the year is watching what you do daily, not what you promise occasionally. Consistency creates transformation. Intensity fades, but commitment stays. Choose commitment. The year ahead is not your savior, it is your stage. It will amplify who you already are. If you stay passive, it will magnify stagnation. If you take action, it will multiply growth. You do not need a new year to start, you need a new standard. Raise it. Decide that average is no longer acceptable. Decide that excuses are no longer tolerated. Decide that your goals are non-negotiable. When you change your standards, your behavior follows. When your behavior changes, your results follow. And when your results change, your life changes. 2026 is not the turning point. Ownership is the moment you stop pointing outward and start looking inward. It is the decision to accept that your life is shaped more by your responses than by your circumstances. Most people spend years blaming something: family, background, economy, timing, betrayal, lack of support. Blame feels comfortable because it removes responsibility. If it is someone else's fault, then you do not have to change. But the cost of blame is power. The moment you blame, you give control away. The moment you take ownership, you take control back. Ownership means understanding that your reactions matter more than your obstacles. Two people can face the same setback. One uses it as a reason to quit, the other uses it as fuel to grow. The difference is not talent or luck, it is responsibility. When you own your results, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about it? That shift in question changes everything. It transforms you from a victim of circumstance into a creator of outcomes. Taking ownership does not mean you caused every problem. It means you accept responsibility for what happens next. You may not control where you started, but you control your effort. You may not control how others treat you, but you control your standards. You may not control every opportunity, but you control your preparation. Ownership is not about guilt, it is about power. It is about recognizing that while life can be unfair, your response is always yours. When you take ownership, excuses lose their influence. Excuses are clever, they sound logical. I don't have time, I'm too tired, no one supports me, I'll start when things calm down. These statements protect comfort but destroy growth. Ownership challenges them. It forces you to examine how you spend your hours, where your energy goes, and what priorities you are truly honoring. It pushes you to admit that sometimes the barrier is not the world, but your habits. That realization can be uncomfortable, but discomfort is the doorway to progress. Ownership also builds resilience. When you believe your life is controlled by outside forces, every setback feels permanent. When you believe your actions matter, setbacks become temporary, failure becomes feedback, criticism becomes information, rejection becomes redirection. Instead of collapsing under pressure, you adapt, you adjust your strategy, you strengthen your discipline. You continue moving. Ownership turns pain into training. It requires honesty. Brutal, clear honesty. You must evaluate your effort without exaggeration. Are you truly giving your best, or are you giving what feels convenient? Are you consistent or only motivated when emotions are high? Are you disciplined or just inspired? Ownership demands that you answer these questions without hiding behind potential. Potential means nothing without action. You cannot claim greatness while practicing mediocrity daily. Responsibility forces alignment between your goals and your behavior. When you fully embrace ownership, your standards rise. You stop tolerating habits that sabotage your future. You stop surrounding yourself with negativity that weakens your mindset. You stop waiting for permission to improve. You understand that no one is coming to rescue you. That realization is not depressing, it is empowering. It means your growth is in your hands. Your discipline is in your hands. Your direction is in your hands. Ownership creates confidence because confidence is built on evidence. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, your belief strengthens. Each time you follow through despite difficulty, your identity shifts. You begin to see yourself as reliable, capable, and strong. That self-trust cannot be given by praise or taken by criticism. It is built internally through consistent responsibility. There will always be factors you cannot control. Markets shift, people disappoint, plans fail. But ownership ensures you never surrender your agency. You adjust instead of complaining. You learn instead of blaming. You move instead of waiting. The world may influence your journey, but it does not define your outcome. The defining factor is your decision to take responsibility for your actions, your mindset, and your growth every single day. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you say you want to become. Motivation is emotional and temporary. Discipline is structural and permanent. Motivation depends on how you feel. Discipline depends on what you decide. Feelings rise and fall, but decisions backed by standards create consistency. If you only act when you feel inspired, your progress will always be unstable. If you act because you committed a standard, your progress becomes predictable. Most people misunderstand discipline as punishment or restriction. In reality, discipline is self-respect in action. It is the daily proof that your long-term vision matters more than your short-term comfort. Every time you wake up and choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you are reinforcing your identity. You are telling yourself that your goals are not negotiable. You are training your mind to value growth over convenience. That repeated choice reshapes who you are. Discipline begins in small decisions. It is not built in grand moments. It is built in ordinary hours. It is choosing to work when distractions are available. It is choosing to prepare when procrastination is tempting. It is choosing to train when excuses feel reasonable. These micro decisions compound. A single disciplined action may seem insignificant, but repeated daily, it becomes transformation. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Intensity burns out, consistency builds momentum. There will be days when you are tired, distracted, frustrated, or discouraged. Discipline does not eliminate those feelings, it overrides them. It teaches you that your emotions are signals, not commands. Just because you feel unmotivated does not mean you stop. Just because you feel fear does not mean you retreat. Discipline creates separation between feeling and action. You acknowledge the feeling, but you act according to your standards. Standards are crucial. Without clear standards, discipline has no direction. You must decide what kind of person you are becoming. Are you someone who keeps promises, someone who shows up on time, someone who finishes what they start? Once that identity is defined, discipline becomes alignment. Every action either supports that identity or contradicts it. When you consistently act in alignment, confidence grows. When you break alignment, doubt grows. Discipline protects your self-trust. Comfort is the greatest enemy of discipline. Comfort whispers that you deserve a break before you earn it. Comfort suggests that small compromises do not matter. Comfort convinces you that starting tomorrow is harmless. But tomorrow is a pattern. When you delay today, you train yourself to delay again. Discipline interrupts that pattern. It forces immediate action. It closes the gap between intention and execution. Discipline also creates freedom. At first glance, structure feels restrictive. Waking up early, following routines, limiting distractions, controlling impulses can seem limiting, but structure removes chaos. Chaos drains energy. When your habits are organized, your mind is clearer. When your priorities are defined, your decisions are easier. Instead of constantly debating what to do, you execute what you have already decided. That mental clarity increases productivity and reduces stress. Growth requires discomfort. Muscles strengthen under resistance. Skills sharpen under repetition. Character deepens under pressure. Discipline ensures you willingly enter controlled discomfort instead of waiting for forced hardship. If you avoid difficult tasks, life will eventually present unavoidable difficulty. Discipline prepares you in advance. It strengthens your capacity before crisis demands it. Discipline is also about sacrifice. Every achievement requires saying no to something. Time is finite, energy is limited. If you say yes to distractions, you say no to development. If you say yes to indulgence, you say no to progress. Discipline clarifies priorities. It reminds you that every choice carries a trade-off. When your vision is strong enough, sacrifice becomes strategic rather than painful. Over time, discipline becomes identity. It stops feeling forced and starts feeling natural. You no longer debate whether to act, you simply act. The repetition rewires your habits. The habits reshape your character. The character determines your trajectory. Discipline turns potential into performance. It transforms ideas into outcomes. It converts desire into measurable progress. There will never be a perfect moment to begin. Waiting for ideal conditions delays growth indefinitely. Discipline begins the moment you decide that your future self deserves more than your present comfort. It is built one decision at a time, one day at a time, until the person you once hoped to become is reflected in the standards you now live by. Your environment is not neutral. It is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. Every room you sit in, every person you spend time with, every piece of content you consume is shaping your mindset, your standards, and your expectations. If you want a stronger future, you must intentionally design a stronger environment. Growth is difficult when you are surrounded by distractions, negativity, and low standards. Success becomes more natural when your surroundings reinforce discipline, focus, and ambition. Human behavior is heavily influenced by context. You may believe your willpower alone determines your outcomes, but willpower weakens under constant pressure. If junk food is always within reach, resisting it requires continuous effort. If your phone is always in your hand, distraction becomes automatic. If you are surrounded by people who normalize excuses, you will eventually justify your own. Environment reduces or increases the friction of your habits. The easier you make good habits and the harder you make bad ones, the more consistent your progress becomes. Look at the people closest to you. Conversations shape beliefs. Beliefs shape decisions. Decisions shape results. If your circle constantly complains, criticizes, and avoids responsibility, that mindset becomes contagious. If your circle talks about goals, solutions, and discipline, that energy elevates you. Standards are absorbed subconsciously. You rise or fall to the level of what is considered normal around you. Protecting your environment means protecting your mental climate from influences that weaken your focus. Digital environment matters just as much as physical environment. The content you scroll through daily trains your attention. Short bursts of entertainment condition your brain to crave instant stimulation. Constant comparison on social media can erode confidence. Negative news cycles can increase anxiety and helplessness. If you consume content without intention, your thoughts become reactive instead of strategic. Curating your digital space means choosing information that educates, inspires, and challenges you rather than drains you. Physical space influences productivity more than most people realize. Cluttered surroundings often create cluttered thinking. A disorganized workspace encourages procrastination. A clean, structured environment signals readiness and control. Lighting, noise, and layout affect concentration. When your environment supports focus, you waste less energy fighting distractions. Small changes, removing unnecessary items, organizing tools, limiting noise create measurable improvements in output. You cannot always control external chaos, but you can control the order within your immediate space. Energy is limited. Every distraction consumes a portion of it. Every unnecessary conflict drains it. Every toxic interaction depletes it. Protecting your environment is an act of conserving energy for what matters. It requires boundaries. Boundaries with people who disrespect your goals. Boundaries with habits that sabotage your growth. Boundaries with media that manipulates your emotions. Boundaries are not selfish, they are strategic. They create space for progress. Environment also affects identity. If you place yourself in rooms where growth is expected, you begin to see yourself differently. Exposure to higher standards expands your perception of what is possible. When you observe discipline consistently modeled, you internalize it. When you witness excellence, your tolerance for mediocrity decreases. Proximity influences ambition. If you want to elevate your results, elevate the rooms you enter. Change may require distance. Sometimes growth demands limiting exposure to individuals or settings that anchor you to an outdated version of yourself. This can be uncomfortable. Familiarity feels safe even when it restricts progress, but safety without growth leads to stagnation. Protecting your environment may involve difficult decisions, reducing time in negative spaces, declining invitations that disrupt priorities, disconnecting from influences that contradict your values. Growth requires courage not only in action but in separation. Your routines are part of your environment. Daily structure creates predictability. Predictability reduces decision fatigue. When your schedule aligns with your goals, progress becomes systematic rather than random. Wake times, work blocks, exercise periods, and rest cycles shape performance. An unstructured day invites distraction. A structured day invites execution. Environment is not just where you are, it is how your time is arranged. The goal is not isolation, but intentional alignment. You design surroundings that reinforce the person you are becoming. You place reminders of your goals where you can see them. You connect with individuals who challenge your thinking. You remove triggers that weaken your discipline. Over time, the environment begins to work for you instead of against you. Decisions become easier because your surroundings support them. Focus becomes natural because distractions are minimized. Confidence strengthens because your standards are consistently reinforced. You cannot control every external factor, but you can control exposure. Exposure shapes perspective. Perspective shapes behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. Protecting your environment is not about perfection, it is about alignment. When your surroundings reflect your ambitions, your actions begin to match them. Your body and mind are not separate forces. They are a single system that determines how you show up in the world. If your body is weak, tired, and neglected, your confidence will quietly shrink. If your mind is undisciplined, distracted, and filled with doubt, your potential will stay buried. Building your body and sharpening your mind is not about appearance or ego. It is about capacity to endure pressure, capacity to think clearly, capacity to lead yourself when circumstances become difficult. Physical strength creates psychological strength. When you train your body consistently, you are doing more than lifting weight or running miles. You are teaching yourself to tolerate discomfort. Muscles grow under resistance, and character grows under effort. Each repetition completed when you want to quit sends a message to your brain that you are capable of more than your impulses suggest. That message accumulates. Over time, it becomes belief. Belief becomes confidence. Energy is the foundation of performance. Without energy, discipline collapses. Sleep, nutrition, and movement directly influence focus, mood, and resilience. Poor physical habits weaken mental clarity. When you are constantly fatigued, small problems feel overwhelming. When your body is fueled properly and trained regularly, your stress tolerance increases. Challenges that once felt heavy become manageable. Strength in the body stabilizes the mind. Training also builds self-respect. When you commit to caring for your body, you are proving that your future matters. Skipping workouts or neglecting health may seem minor in the moment, but repeated neglect erodes self-trust. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one like completing a workout, you reinforce integrity. Integrity with yourself is the root of unshakable confidence. Confidence is not loud, it is the quiet certainty that you can rely on your own discipline. The mind requires training just as much as the body. Information consumption shapes thought patterns. If your mind is filled with distraction, negativity, and shallow stimulation, your thinking becomes reactive. Focused reading, reflection, and intentional learning strengthen cognitive endurance. Deep thinking is a skill that must be practiced. In a world of constant noise, the ability to concentrate is an advantage. When your mind is disciplined, you make clearer decisions. Clear decisions produce better outcomes. Mental strength is built through controlled stress. Avoiding difficulty weakens resilience. Facing difficulty strengthens it. When you deliberately challenge yourself through complex tasks, uncomfortable conversations, or demanding goals, you expand your tolerance for pressure. Each challenge survived reduces fear. Fear often exists because of unfamiliarity. Exposure builds familiarity. Familiarity reduces intimidation. A trained mind does not panic easily. It analyzes and responds. Body language influences psychology. Standing upright, maintaining eye contact, moving with intention sends signals to your nervous system. Posture affects mood. Breathing patterns affect anxiety levels. Physical presence affects self-perception. When you carry yourself with strength, your mind begins to align with that posture. The connection between physiology and psychology is powerful. You can change how you feel by changing how you move. Consistency is more important than intensity. Extreme efforts followed by long periods of neglect create instability. Moderate daily commitment builds durability. 10 disciplined actions repeated for years outperform sporadic bursts of motivation. The body adapts gradually, the mind adapts gradually. Patience combined with repetition produces transformation. Quick fixes create temporary change. Structured habits create lasting change. Confidence after building your body and mind is different from surface-level bravado. It does not need validation. It is rooted in evidence. You know you can endure discomfort because you practice it. You know you can focus because you train it. You know you can recover from setbacks because you have faced controlled hardship repeatedly. This type of confidence remains steady even when external praise disappears. Strength also affects emotional stability. Exercise reduces stress hormones and increases resilience. Structured mental habits reduce overthinking. When your system is regulated, you respond instead of react. Emotional control is not suppression, it is regulation. A trained body helps regulate the nervous system. A trained mind helps regulate thought patterns. Together, they create composure under pressure. Building your body and mind is an ongoing process. There is no final stage where growth stops. Every new level requires expanded capacity. As responsibilities increase, strength must increase. As goals become bigger, discipline must deepen. The work is continuous, but so are the rewards. Greater endurance, sharper thinking, stronger presence, higher self-trust. When your body is strong and your mind is disciplined, external chaos has less control over you. You become stable in unstable environments. You become confident not because life is easy, but because you are prepared. Hard decisions are the doorway to growth, and most people stand outside that door their entire lives because it feels uncomfortable to open it. Easy decisions protect comfort, reputation, and short-term peace. Hard decisions protect your future. Every time you hesitate in front of a difficult choice, you are not just delaying action, you are reinforcing fear. Speed matters because hesitation feeds doubt. When you delay necessary decisions, anxiety grows, overthinking multiplies, and your confidence weakens. When you decide firmly and act quickly, you train your mind to trust your leadership. Indecision drains energy. It keeps your mind in a loop of possibilities, risks, and imagined consequences. That mental loop consumes focus you could use to move forward. A decision, even an imperfect one, restores clarity. Clarity creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. You will never have complete information. You will never eliminate all risk. Waiting for certainty is a strategy for stagnation. Growth belongs to those who can assess, commit, and adjust rather than endlessly analyze. Discomfort is not a warning sign, it is often a signal of expansion. The conversation you avoid, the opportunity you hesitate to take, the boundary you are afraid to set, these are usually the exact moves that push you forward. Comfort preserves your current level. Discomfort introduces you to the next level. If you want different results, you must tolerate unfamiliar pressure. The longer you delay, the heavier the decision feels. Acting quickly reduces the emotional weight. Hard decisions test identity. They force you to choose between who you are and who you are becoming. Staying in a toxic environment may feel easier today, but leaving may be necessary for growth. Continuing a comfortable routine may feel safe, but changing it may unlock potential. When you act in alignment with your higher standards, you strengthen your self-image. Each courageous decision becomes proof that you value growth more than approval or convenience. Fear exaggerates consequences. The mind imagines worst-case outcomes to protect you from risk. Most of those imagined scenarios never happen. Even when setbacks occur, they are rarely as catastrophic as anticipated. The real cost is often not in making the wrong decision, but in making none at all. Opportunities expire. Timing shifts, energy fades. Action creates learning, and action creates regret. Regret compounds quietly over years. Speed does not mean recklessness. It means disciplined decisiveness. You gather essential information, evaluate realistically, and commit without endless delay. Once committed, you move forward fully rather than constantly questioning yourself. Doubt after action weakens performance. Commitment strengthens execution. If adjustment is needed, you adjust without self-judgment. Growth is iterative. You refine through experience, not hesitation. Every major breakthrough in life is preceded by a decision that felt uncomfortable at the time. Changing careers, ending unhealthy relationships, starting a business, pursuing education, setting boundaries, these moves rarely feel easy in the moment. They demand courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action despite fear. The faster you act in alignment with your values, the stronger your courage becomes. Courage, like muscle, grows with use. Hard decisions also reveal character. When pressure rises, your standards are tested. Do you compromise to avoid tension, or do you stand firm to protect integrity? Integrity requires immediate alignment between belief and behavior. The longer you delay acting on what you know is right, the more internal conflict you create. Internal conflict erodes confidence. Decisive alignment restores peace. There is power in closing doors. Keeping every option open feels safe, but it divides focus. When you commit to a direction, your energy concentrates. Concentrated energy accelerates progress. Divided energy slows it. Saying no is often more powerful than saying yes. It eliminates distraction and clarifies priorities. Hard decisions narrow your path, but they deepen your impact. Growth demands separation from the familiar. Familiarity can feel like identity even when it limits you. Choosing change may disappoint others. It may disrupt routines. It may challenge your own perception of yourself. But remaining the same to preserve comfort is a slow form of surrender. Decisive action signals self-respect. It declares that your future is worth temporary discomfort. The ability to make hard decisions quickly creates leadership within yourself. You stop waiting for validation. You stop outsourcing responsibility. You evaluate, commit, and move. Each decisive act reduces fear's control over you. Each moment of courage strengthens your belief in your capacity. The more you practice decisive growth, the less intimidating it becomes. Over time, discomfort transforms from threat into opportunity. Elevate your thinking, thrive in your life,